Bosch, DeWalt, Estwing. Every trade has a handful of tools nobody outside it has ever heard of. The kind of gear that solves one specific problem so well that once you own it, you genuinely wonder how you ever worked without it. Today we're covering 14 of the best specialty picks under $100, spanning woodworking, plumbing, electrical, roofing, and automotive work. Let's get into it. First up, the Skill PWR Core 12. Oscillating multi-tool, priced at just under $100. This is a brushless oscillating tool, which matters more than it sounds like it should, because brushless motors run cooler and more efficiently than the older brush designs, meaning the tool lasts longer under regular use. It comes with a 2 amp-hour battery, an upgraded PWR jump charger that cuts down charging time, and a blade and sanding set, including bimetal blades for cutting through nails and screws, to get started immediately out of the box. It's noticeably lighter than most 18 and 20 volt oscillating models while still handling everyday cutting, sanding, and flush trim work. For repairs and weekend projects, it's one of the stronger value picks in this category right now, and it competes directly with DeWalt and Milwaukee offerings that run significantly higher in price. Next, the Bosch PR20E VS Colt Trim Router, priced at $99. This is a 1 horsepower variable speed router, running between 16,000 and 35,000 RPM, and woodworking reviewers consistently point to it as the best bang for the buck option in the trim router category. It won't replace a full-size router for large panel work, but for rounding over edges, cutting small holes, and detailed trim work on cabinetry or furniture, it's remarkably capable for the price. The variable speed control also means you can slow it down for delicate work on softer woods without tearing the grain. Then there's the Black & Decker 5 amp jigsaw, priced at $49. It includes 4-stage orbital action, which lets you dial in how aggressive the cut is depending on the material, plus tool-free blade changing and an adjustable shoe that angles up to 45 degrees for bevel cuts. It cuts wood, composites, plastics, and even sheet aluminum. Swap in a carbide-tipped blade and it handles tile and fiber cement as well. This is genuinely light enough and simple enough to be the only power saw a first-time buyer needs before deciding what to add next. If you want more power than that, the Bosch JS260 jigsaw at $79 is the step up. It's a 6 amp corded jigsaw delivering up to 3,000 strokes per minute, meaning steady power under load instead of the occasional bog down you get from lighter models. And reviewers consistently rank it as one of the best values in the category for anyone doing curved cuts on a regular basis, not just the occasional project. For straight cuts, there's the Porter Cable PCE 300 circular saw, priced under $60, and the Ryobi 13 amp circular saw, priced under $40. The Ryobi is the more affordable of the two and still holds up to regular framing and general cutting work according to independent testing, while the Porter Cable splits the difference between that budget tier and the pricier professional models. Makita and Milwaukee equivalents easily run twice the price, making it a smart middle ground if your budget allows a bit more room. Now into plumbing. The basin wrench, priced between $15 and $50 depending on the brand, is the tool plumbers reach for in spaces no other wrench can access. It's designed specifically for the tight quarters under a sink, where a standard wrench simply can't get the angle needed to grip a supply line nut. It's one of those tools that sits in the bag doing nothing for months and then becomes the only thing standing between you and a finished repair. And while you're upgrading the plumbing toolkit, a PEX crimper is worth adding alongside it. Shark bite fittings have made push-to-connect work accessible, but when you're doing a full copper to PEX transition on a supply line, a dedicated PEX crimper with the right ring and go-no-go gauge is what actually locks those connections in properly. Sticking with tight space problem solving, the coaxial cable crimper, priced between $20 and $50, attaches connectors to coaxial cable for audio, video, and internet installations. Most homeowners never buy one in their life. But for anyone running their own cable lines or fixing a signal dropout, it turns what would be a paid service call into a 10-minute job with the right connector and a solid crimp. Similarly essential for electrical work is the wire crimper, priced between $20 and $35. This tool securely crimps connectors onto electrical wires, creating professional-grade connections that resist the kind of loose contact that causes flickering, shorts, or worse down the line. It's standard kit for electricians for exactly that reason, the kind of connection that holds up to GFCI circuit demands and passes rough-in inspection. and a smart addition to any home toolkit for anyone doing their own wiring repairs. For plumbing specifically involving copper, the copper pipe cutter, priced between $15 and $60, makes smooth, precise cuts on copper piping without the ragged, uneven edge a hacksaw tends to leave behind. Cleaner cuts create better seals when you're soldering or connecting fittings, and better seals mean fewer callbacks for leaks down the line, which matters whether you're doing this professionally or just don't want to redo the job in 6 months. Moving to the roof seam roller, priced between $30 and $60, presses and smooths seams in roofing materials, including TPO membrane and modified bitumen, for a tighter bond. It's a small, unglamorous tool that roofing crews use constantly, and almost nobody outside the trade has ever seen one, let alone knows what it does. Paired with it, the propane torch built for roofing work, priced between $25 and $55, heats, melds, and seals bitumen roofing materials during installation and repair. Together, the torch and the seam roller are the two-tool combination that actually makes a watertight roof seam possible, and neither one does much of anything without the other. Back in the general workshop, the Estwing 16-ounce rip claw hammer deserves a mention. In independent testing against cheaper competitors, including entry-level Craftsman and store brand options, it topped the category for balance, strength, and durability. And it's the kind of tool tradespeople buy exactly once, after going through a handful of cheaper hammers that didn't hold up the same way. And finally, into automotive work, the Pittsburgh brake bleeder and vacuum pump kit from Harbor Freight, priced at $25.99. This kit includes a machined brass vacuum pump, a 4-ounce cup, 2 sets of vacuum hoses, tapered and universal bleed adapters, and a gauge accurate enough to test pressurized systems beyond just brakes. It turns brake bleeding from a 2-person job into something you can do alone in your own garage. Top off your DOT3 or DOT4 brake fluid at the master cylinder first, and the whole job takes under an hour. At this price, it's one of the more accessible entry points into doing your own brake work, and it pairs well with a basic OBD2 scanner if you're building out a proper home garage diagnostic setup. That's the full list. 14 professional-grade tools under $100, each one solving a specific problem that a general-purpose tool simply wasn't built to solve. If any of these solved a problem you didn't know had a solution, let us know which one down in the comments and stick around for more gear breakdowns like this one.